Good people, what's up? What's good? We are back for another edition of our Millennial Masterclass series. Blessed to be your host, Caleb Smith. Thank you all so very much for tapping in, joining us, all your support and love. Today's episode is about to be amazing. We got Miss Gabrielle V coming through. We're talking about financial literacy, credit, accounting, just everything with just wealth empowerment, because right now that's so needed during this current moment in time. So thank you all so much for tapping in. Also, if you're watching this on IGTV after it's posted, make sure to leave a comment. Tell us your favorite part about this conversation. Share it with a friend, family member. And this will be posted on YouTube probably sometime next week or the week afterwards. We have an episode dropping tonight. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to our channel right now. Or matter of fact, after this conversation, subscribe on YouTube. About to send an invitation right now. How you
Hey,
doing?
hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate you coming onto the platform.
Yes, I'm excited.
Anytime, anytime. So tonight's conversation is needed. We're talking about finances, accounting, wealth empowerment. So we're about to get this thing started.
Yes.
All right.
All
So yeah, and let's get to it. So starting off, how'd you get started in accounting? What inspired that for you?
right. Okay, well, first I was a chemistry major in
Oh
college.
wow.
Big transition.
Yeah.
Um, so I was really into like science, engineering, high
Mm-hmm.
school. I was on robotics club, all that type of stuff.
Yeesh. Yeah.
So no one really knows I have that type of background or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that, or that I'm even interested in that. Like I still like order robots and still do that today.
Wow.
Right. So but, but I got into accounting because my uncle's an accountant and one of my other cousins, she was in school for accounting, and I was like, okay, I really don't like chemistry as being my major
Yeah.
because I wanted to do like make makeup or do like a chemist or something like that, but I was like, I don't like it. So I did accounting, and then I joined a business fraternity just to learn more about like how to be more business savvy
Yeah.
and how to like it's just more of a character building thing for me, and like how I could fit into the business department that was at my school.
That's
So
dope.
yeah, that's how I got into accounting.
Got you. And I saw your page. I love everything, that I saw
Really?
about talking with
Yeah.
finances because I thought that that's super cool. How did you start learning more about finances too? And what inspired for you to start sharing that information? Because that's not common knowledge at all.
Right. So I mean, it's a difference between accounting and finance. So to me, it was more of me trying to figure out what the difference was.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it was really just like everyday life things, like me paying my own bills for the first time, but I still want to spend money and go out with friends, me going on trips.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone know about those college broke trips and how you have to
Yeah.
budget your money.
Yeah.
So it was more like, okay, I would make a spreadsheet for my friends. And I'd be like,
Wow.
this is the estimated money that we might spend when we go to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I'll have my own personal, like, okay, well, this is what I spent. Just so
Mm-hmm.
I can make sure that I didn't go over, or when I came back from that trip, I was still able to live.
Right.
Because you can't forget about that part. You're still an adult. You still got to live when you come back from
Facts.
your vacation.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just more on how can I save money and still be able to have fun in college
Mm.
and pay bills and all those type of things. So it was just me. It was more of a survival guide type thing.
Right.
And then accounting just made it, my accounting background, it just made it better. So I think, yeah, pretty much was that. And then after graduation, you're really an adult. You're not a college
Yeah.
student no more.
At all.
So it was that, and I'm able to save money now because I renovated my parents' basement into like a mini studio type thing.
Nice.
So I made it more for me to work at home and
Yeah.
still be able to lounge, but I'm still separated from the family, but I'm still
Mm.
saving so much money because I'm not paying rent and just jumping out into the world, jumping into debt. That's what I
Yeah.
call it, jumping into debt. And I treat my savings account as a bill. Once you
Mm.
put that
Okay.
money into your savings account, you
Yeah.
cannot take it out,
I like that.
Yeah, you cannot touch that money because once you pay that bill, you can't get that money back from that company.
That's
You
it.
can't get your money back from anything. But once you put your money in that savings account, you have to treat it like a bill. You cannot touch it unless it's really, really an emergency. Like you can have 5,000 in your savings, and if you just have $100 and you need to make that $100 stretch, you need to make that $100 stretch. You can't say, "Oh, I got $5,000, I'm good." Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You don't. So that's how I look at it. Like I look at it like that.
I love that mindset. And hearing you talk about having like a spreadsheet, budgeting, and
Yeah.
not jumping into debt. Right now, our age group, and you said going, to Miami. Like a lot of
Right.
us go on vacations. I do as well. So how do we budget properly to still live, but then at the same time, like you still want to always have something saved up?
Yeah, so like I said, just with treating your savings account as a bill, you can use saving apps. I used Digit one time and it
Mm-hmm.
helped me. It just snatches money out your account like $5 or $6 here and there.
Wow.
And you won't even know that you're saving money.
Yeah.
So by the time you look at the app and it's time for you to go on that trip, you got like $500 saved. You didn't even know that. That accumulated through 3 months of you just getting paid regularly, you going throughout your day. But also, like, we're in a whole pandemic. Like,
Yeah.
so the money that I was using to like go clubbing or like going out to eat and stuff like that, that money, that's just extra money you can put in your savings, you know?
Yeah.
So just doing like little small knickknacks here and there, couponing, just like a lot of things that can really help you. But even starting your own monthly budget sheet on Excel, like start with what you accumulate your monthly income and just jot down all your bills, and you can make an easy formula like what I made my monthly subtract by this, and then you have your total at the end, you know. And as you put those in, you can have you can break it down into the two times you get paid, if you get paid bi-weekly or if you get paid weekly. Just separate it based upon how you get paid, and then put your bills into it, and then you have a section part where you spend your money, where you know what you're spending your money on.
Got you.
So when you write it down, you I wouldn't say you have to write everything down, but like big purchases, I believe over $75, you should write
Smart.
down just so you can remember.
Yeah.
But I know like some people don't know how to formulate and all those different type of things. But you know, it's always YouTube tutorials on how to make certain things like that. Or if you can just figure out how to make a basic simple formula in there that would do it for you. So I mean, I have some that I can probably distribute to people if they don't know how to do it or anything like that. If you want one, I will send you one as well.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you putting me on game right now. I'm listening.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And again, like everything that you're talking about, like it requires so much discipline. Not just that, what you're saying is so organized.
Yes.
I know that, you told us like a little bit about your background on how you got to this state. But again, like all the things that you're saying is not normal at all. So how was that step one or from point A all the way to point Z of knowing I have to have a spreadsheet or I have to use this app? Like, where are you getting all of this knowledge from?
Well, I would just say like just with internships, like all
Okay.
companies, everything on every company use Excel. You know, you have
Right.
to master Excel and accounting and all those type of things. That's what you use on a daily basis. That's what they use. That's how they keep track with their money, with their clients, and all those type of things. And that's how you learn how to do the formulas. So I think with the like I said, the accounting background and the different internships that I have done, I interned with a Big Four, and I also did intern with I did an industry in accounting intern as well. But everybody used Excel, and
Gotcha.
everybody built formulas, and you have to learn those formulas on how to um, maneuver through these different numbers that you see every day. You see thousands of numbers every day. So
Wow.
you're like, okay, this is how this big old corporation keeps up with so many clients. And it's so organized that you can go back from here all the way to 1996 on what was.
Wow. Wow.
And so when you start seeing that and you do that on a daily basis, you can bring that back into your personal life and how you can manage your money and just really, really save, like especially during this time right now, like we're in a whole pandemic.
Yeah.
we're in a pandemic, which is
Yeah.
scary. Like, you need to save as much money as you can. Like, people say invest in this, invest in that, but sometimes investing is not that important, or is
Okay.
not, like, right now. I would say invest, but I would say not invest if you're a super beginner.
Mm-hmm.
Don't invest too big, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what can happen to that company right now. We're in a pandemic. They
That's
can lose
facts.
all their money. You lose all the money. And
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, investing is really good, but also there's risk. You can't just jump and take a big risk during the pandemic. You need to, like, right now, I feel like you should save as much money as you can, because you don't know what's going to happen next.
That's real. Yeah.
And jumping in a market you don't know nothing about, like, you have to be able to lose that $500 that you're going to put in.
Yeah.
And if you can't lose that right now, don't put all those $500 in. Because even big companies like Delta, AMC just went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Nordstrom, all those type of things. These are stores that you would never know that would go bankrupt, and you invested your money in, and now you're looking crazy.
Facts.
You don't want to do that. And then during this time, it's scary. It would be very scary to just lose out on money that you just don't truly have. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. And pandemic. I keep
Right.
hearing that word because it's real. Like every single day, watching the
Very
news,
real.
hearing people talk about it. A lot of people, millions out of work, like Great Depression numbers.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, somebody posted this on Instagram, and I cried laughing. They said that unemployment, getting that check, was the best summer job ever. So, how can people stack that 600 that they was getting every week on top of the unemployment? Some
Right.
people stacked up thousands. So, how did they
Yeah.
leverage that money? Because sometimes we get that mindset, especially black people, of, all right, once it hits, I'm about to buy this. I'm about to get some tattoos. I'm about to get a whip. About to go to Miami.
Right.
So how do we leverage that money properly? Because who knows if you'll ever get that much money that fast again.
Right. So to me, I'm one of the people that's getting unemployment right now. I don't start full time in my job until September, but to me, it's more of people are still surviving too. So people see this money, it's coming weekly, everything. But to me, the way they're doing unemployment is based on what you will be getting right now. They're just very overwhelmed that they're getting this money and not doing anything. I think that's what the big thing is. They're not doing anything to accumulate this money. So I look at it as some people are getting 800 to 1,200 a week. Okay, that's good, but you have to do your bills. I always say bills, savings. After my bills and my savings, then I call that's my play money. And after your bills and savings, you have your play money. Nobody can tell you what you can do with your play money. After if all my bills are paid, I put money in my savings. The rest is for me to do what I wanted to do. So I'm just hoping that people are paying their bills, not taking advantage of people who do own houses, are paying their mortgage that they're getting, even because that money's coming back, and they're holding it right now. So you're still going to have to pay that money back if you do own a house and you're paying mortgage. And they probably, majority of the time, how most companies do that, they want it back all at once. They know you're getting all this money, and they're going to probably want it back all at once. And that is how foreclosing is about to happen. People are going to lose their homes and all those type of things. So if you're in this life and you own a home, pay your mortgage. If you're getting this unemployment, pay your bills. Please pay your bills, because that money's gonna come back and you're gonna be shocked. And you're gonna be crying, man. Right. But like I always say, pay your bills and savings. And after that, play money. Do what you want with that money. Like, because at the end of the day, you still have to live. You still have to have, you're still human. You're still going to want to have fun. You're still going to want to do things. But if your bills and your savings is put together, you're good. Wow. So that's how I do it.
I love that. Somebody in the comments said dropping gems, priorities first, taking notes. Yeah, hey, I'm taking notes too, man, for real. Do you feel like our age group that we are, I wouldn't say financially literate, but are we good with money? Do you feel that way? Are we good with money?
I feel because I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I'm going to splurge sometimes. Everyone's going to splurge sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I always say, if your priorities are going first, And if you can afford something after your priorities, then okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are renting a car for Instagram or paying
Dang.
your bills,
Hey, you on to something right now. I'm listening. I'm
don't
listening.
don't do that because the whole like I saw this one quote. It's about having money, not looking like I have money. You know,
Yeah.
like people ask me, "Why do you still stay with your parents? Why are you still doing this?" Well, I have so much money in my savings. I can move out, but
But
why
you
move?
don't have to.
Why move
Yeah.
out if I don't have to?
Mm.
And I'm saving money for when I do purchase my home, when I do purchase something that I really truly have. I have over amount of money that I can get the furniture I want. You know, I can do things. I don't want to struggle at this age while
Right.
I'm still in school. I'm just beginning associate, and so many new things are coming into my life. You don't want to struggle financially during those times that you're really working on something like you don't want to struggle while you're trying to build your career up, you know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah.
So if I can illuminate financial struggle right now and just really focus on my career, I feel like if I was living on my own and all those different things, I wasn't able to start accounting bay, you know. I wouldn't be able to really focus and be in school right now because I would be trying to stress out and I'll probably have to have a second job or something like that. Living in Atlanta, it has got so much expensive because so many people are moving out here, and then
That's
they're
right.
building. They're building every week. It's a new building getting built,
Yep.
and it's like so many people are living here. Atlanta is like the Black Hollywood now, so it's just like things are so expensive out here now. So why jump into something when I know that I can wait it out and I can have something better? You know.
You preaching. You preaching.
So yeah.
And I think that patience is so important, and hearing everything that you're currently doing, taking your time with your parents, renovating the space.
Yeah.
How can our age group implement that same strategy of patience? Because when we're scrolling on Instagram, you might see all the facades of this person has this, they might have this, and you're working, and yeah, like you have money stacked up, but how do you make sure that you aren't forcing yourself into bad situations as well?
So I can say, for an example, I needed to buy a new car.
Mm.
I was like, Gabby, I want this Lexus, all that type of thing. And I
Yeah.
talked to one of my close friends about it. She was like, Gabby, why do you need a Lexus?
Mm.
She was like, give me 3 reasons. And I'm like, you really can't name 3 reasons. So she told me to get on Facebook and find a car. She was like, Gabby, you got this car. You can pay for a car in cash. Like, why put yourself in a loan in debt when you can pay for it in cash? And I was like, okay. So come to find, long story short, I ended up buying a car in cash, and it gets me from point A to point B. It still push to start, all those type of things. So I got all the amenities I wanted, but I'm not in debt. You know what I mean? Because the car is going to depreciate in a little bit. Right when I buy it, right when I roll it off the
Moment you
lot.
drive off the lot, that's it.
That's it.
Wow.
So it's just like, why do that when you can get something that you can afford, not put yourself in debt, not put yourself in a loan, owing other different people when you can have that cash to do that. Like I'll remember, what's his name? One rapper said something. Why do Black people just can't buy something that they just can afford instead of putting themselves in debt? So that was one thing that I did because most our counterparts are not putting themselves in debt. If you really think about it, they're buying things in cash. They'll buy it in cash and they will flip it. You know, they're not worried. Our counterparts are not worried about images. People are not like they'll buy something. Like I feel like our community, if it's Gucci, we want Gucci written on that thing. We want
No questions asked.
I feel like, and then like other people, they can just buy something. If it's good material, it's gonna last long. They're gonna buy it. It's the same. It's the same thing. So I think our mindset is, it's just, it's just, it's a hard mindset to have. It's a lot of discipline, but at the same time, once you step out of society and just really look at your surroundings and really look at my life, how can I better my life? Those other people, it's not going to matter because once you see your pockets are getting bigger and You're able to do certain things, not for just you, but for your family. You can pass down certain cars or do anything. Once you start doing things for yourself, you don't need validation from other people. You don't need you don't need to show what you have. You don't need to show your credit score. You don't need to show your savings. You don't need to show your checking account. You don't need to show your salary. There's no need for validation when you know what you're doing for yourself, you know?
That's right. That's right. I love that. And what you're currently doing with Accountant Bay, and as well, there's multiple and millions of other young entrepreneurs that are still working as well.
Right.
So how do our young entrepreneurs balance going to that 9 to 5, and then when you go home, you still got something that you want to work on? So like, how can they balance their time, resources, money, all of that?
Okay, so what I do, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie and just be like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. It's hard, you know. Time management, I think time management is one of the top tier things that will make you very successful. But it's really, to me, is one of the top tier things that's very hard.
Yeah.
Because it goes against your physical strength and your mental strength, you know? So you can be mentally tired. After busy season, I was just mentally tired. I wasn't physically tired, but mentally, I was just mentally tired. Just when I in college working, you'd be physically tired, but I knew that I had a test right when I got off of work. So I feel like if a person really wants something and a person really have their heart poured into it, they're gonna make time. You're gonna always make time for something that you truly want, and that goes with anything in life. You're gonna always make time, and I can't really give like peer advice on that. It's just more of a, if you want to make time, you're gonna make time for something. But even with time management, having Google calendars or something like that, like different apps that will give you alerts to make sure you not finish something. Now it's certain apps where you can, if you have an Instagram account, where you can drop certain pictures that you want to be on your Instagram and put the time on there. It would remotely do it for you, right? So now we have so much technology now that would make stuff so easy.
Yeah.
Like little robots just doing so many million different things for you. So it's just like, even with time management, I could be doing something at work while I have an app rolling stuff in, you know? So I would just say people can just do a lot of research and look up these different apps. Use your Google calendars. Put in your meetings, just like how we had a Google calendar set up. Use that so you don't forget. Because people forget. I told myself, if it's not in my planner, I have to write things down.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
I have a Google calendar for like work and all this type of thing, because you still need that to jump in your face. But also, I'm the type of person, if it's not written down, it might get forgotten.
Not gonna happen. Yep.
Like in school, I'm like, okay, it's Monday. Let me figure out what I'm doing this week. Like even with vacations, all that type of stuff, even with bills, like I'm like, okay, so this month I'm not doing a lot of things this month. I'm not going nowhere this month. I can put much more money in my savings this month. So I look at it like that. Like your planner can be much more than what you're doing. It can be a financial planner. It can be a financial goal. It can just be many different things. And that can also help you with your time management. And that can also help you with goal setting as well.
Yeah, that's dope. And speaking on time management, goal setting, I see a lot of people with dating sometimes complain about having to pay for stuff or going out, and it gets expensive. So for both men and women, that's our age. Like, how do we balance paying for bills, and you still want to live, you still want to go out on dates and stuff? So how do you balance all of those things? Because sometimes being, you know, in Atlanta, going to brunch spots or here, SDK, wherever, it's like, geez. So how do you balance all of that stuff?
More now that I'm not going out as much. I'm eating and stuff like that still, but I think right now is the time where, if you're not going clubbing, use that clubbing money to go to SDK. Use that clubbing money to go to Ruth Chris. Use that clubbing money to do brunch. You alternate your money in many different ways. Like, okay, this week I'm not going clubbing. I'm not doing anything. Let me try this new restaurant I've been looking at. Like, so just doing things like that. I like a girl. She's real sweet or anything like that. Let me budget my money in a way where I can take her out. And, or if not, if she's cool with that, talk about your financial thing. I know now it's more like city girls, city boys type thing.
Yeah.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, we have to be realistic. We have to be
Yeah.
adults and all those type of things. So me personally, I feel like first date guys should pay, but
Oh, of course. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I agree with
but
that.
just maneuver your money
Yeah.
very smart. Like you have to maneuver your money very smart. Like if you're not doing nothing that month, treat yourself. You know, go to that
Yeah.
restaurant. Don't go clubbing next week, or I'm not doing nothing this week. But next week when I get paid, I'm doing this.
Mm.
Next week I get paid, I'm gonna take her out. But that
Yeah.
week after, I'm gonna chill. You know, you can still
Hmm.
chill at home and chill with friends and not spend money.
Right.
So I would say just maneuver your money in a very smart way where you're not gripping onto your money too tight or not too loosely at the same time. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I
Okay.
get that. So, do you feel like our expectations for men and women, or for anybody who's dating, is too high sometimes? Where we kind of want people that's established at like between 23 to 30, but that's kind of unrealistic. So, do you feel like our expectations are somewhat too high,
um, I don't know.
financially speaking, wise?
I would
Not
say,
not everything else.
um, I feel like you know who you're dating. Like
Hmm.
you know what you're dating before you
Hmm.
even ask for something out of the line. You know what I
That's
mean?
deep. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like not saying that a person is broke, but you know that person probably will go out his means, and to me, that's selfish. If
Hmm.
you know that, I think that the first part, you know who you're dating, and
Yeah.
you know what to expect, and you know what to not expect when
Hmm.
it comes to certain things. I feel like first 3 weeks you shouldn't be asking for no purse. First 3 weeks you shouldn't be asking to get your. I feel like as an adult you shouldn't depend on another person for necessity needs, selfish necessity needs.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So when it comes to certain things, I just feel like with the dating scene, like I shouldn't just because I like a guy, oh, he automatically needs to pay for my hair. He automatically needs to do this. I feel like as an adult, I know my hair needs to be done, so I'm gonna go get my hair done. If you want to
Right.
pay, then okay, great.
Right.
But but at the same time, I'm not about to sit there and ask for a guy just because I like him or just because he like me that he needs to pay for my hair or something like that. Or
Yeah.
it's just I just feel like some things is very unrealistic with certain things with the different expectations because of the music that we listen to now.
Mm. Yeah.
But just sincerely asking someone to do an adult personal need for you, no.
Yeah.
So
I respect it. And as couples, or when we get married, because I've been watching documentaries on Black love,
yeah,
finances, and I'm starting to learn how sometimes as a community, when we are in relationships with somebody for like multiple years, how finances really aren't discussed, or people aren't thinking of, hey, instead of us having one income, we have two. So how do we start thinking of dating as more of a business as well?
like I like you just said, dating is a business.
Yeah.
Marriage to me is a business
It's
because
a partnership.
it's
Yeah.
a partnership. You're
Yeah.
putting your finances together. You're
Yeah.
putting your debt together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're putting
Yeah.
everything together.
Yeah.
You're filing taxes together if you want to. Like
Hmm.
this is literally a partnership. This is a business ship. Finances should never be. Finances in a relationship in a marriage should never ever 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 be uncomfortable. If you
Hmm.
know for a fact money is going to have to go into it, bills, taxes, everything, debt, that all like once you're married, all that is collided into one thing. You
Yeah.
can't just you just cannot not talk about it. Even dating for 3 years, like finances is gonna pop up. Paying if you move in together, bills are gonna pop up on how you gonna hold your household down.
Yeah.
And based on if y'all go 50-50, 80-20, that's the relationship. That needs to be talked about before even moving in.
Mm.
I feel like that
Yeah.
shouldn't be okay. We moved in. Now what? No, I'm the type of person. Everything has to be down. Everything has to be listed out. Everything has to be structured. And if it's not structured, I'm not doing it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I just feel like everyone, when it comes to relationship, and I feel like that's why relationships don't hold. Why relationships don't hold because people don't know how to communicate. We're adults.
Mm.
Like you're
Yeah.
adults. You want to move in together. You want to do this together. Okay, this is a business now. It's a relationship. It's love, but at the same time, it's a business, and you need to think business savvy so things don't go left. If one of us lose our job, we need to have money in our savings to hold us for 3 months. You know what I mean? So just certain things like that. Having a joint account and a separate account. Joint accounts are how you pay your bills. Separate account is just you and that other person on your personal finances and all this type of thing. But relationships, it is a business. You are picking a business partner, and you really do have to think about certain things like that.
Yeah, so. Agreed. And speaking on businesses, we can transition to corporate America. You are a Black woman that's working in corporate America, accounting, finances. What is that daily experience? What challenges do you face? How is that experience there?
It's more of when it comes to corporate America, it's not bad, but at the same time, you still have your challenges and different things like that. You have to face different things. I made a post one time about Black women or just women in general, just working in America, of like not silencing yourself, speak up for yourself, be a part of that team, be a part of that team, learn who you're working with, learn their flaws and and let them learn some of your flaws. And it's just teamwork, like really learning who you're working with, and also stepping your foot down on letting them know I work at this corporation just like you. I got here just like you, and like the post that I did make was like playing the nice girl, the oh pick me, or I can do this or I can do that. And it's just more of making sure that you're being equal. Like I have a quote on my wall. I'm going to read it. It says, everyone deserves to be paid for their work, not given a handout or paid a percentage. We need to treat everyone equally. Otherwise, we'll keep barring the division and the separation of those. So that quote is saying everyone needs to be treated the same.
Right.
And I feel like I'm never going to bite my tongue. I'm going to say it respectfully, but I'm not going to bite my tongue if I feel disrespected at that situation. And I feel like it needs to be said then and there.
Yeah.
Don't say it the second time, because if you say it the second time, they think it was okay the first time. So, and also voice your opinion. Let people know that you're there. We all work at the same corporation. We all have the same title, and you need to get treated the same.
Yeah.
And especially if you're trying to get a promotion, you need to work hard. Sometimes you have to work just as hard, but if you work just as hard, you're going to get just as noticed, So being Black and being a woman, you do have to work hard. Like, you do. Like, because Black men got their rights right before Black women did, So we were always looked at women are always looked at to always serve and all those type of things. Like I remember
I work all the time.
Right. Like, to me, I feel like I'm just as smart as the next man standing next to me.
That's right.
I can answer just as many questions as he can. And I make it known that I volunteer myself. I show myself there. Like for an example, the firm that I'm at, they didn't recruit at my HBCU. So I asked the recruiter, I was like, why don't y'all recruit? Y'all come to Savannah. Y'all go to Georgia Southern all the time. Why don't y'all do that? And she was like, you know what? I really don't know. And 2 months later, they called me after my internship was over. And they were like, hey, we want to start recruiting at your school. So I feel like once you voice your opinion, it can open so many doors. Ever since then, I think 8 people has gotten an offer at the firm that I'm at now. And now they have an actual person that recruits every year. We get yearly donations, all that type of thing. But, as certain women is not going to sometimes stand up and speak for themselves to make that type of change.
Yeah.
Black people just in general sometimes don't want to make that change. They're just happy to be there. Mm-hmm. But just because you're there, that means somebody else can be there. You have to share your blessings. You have to spread your blessings with everyone. So it's just like once you spread your blessings and really speak for yourself and really be out there and show them that I'm not scared to speak up. I'm not scared to be given hard work or anything like that. I'm just as equal and just as accredited, just like the next person beside me. You would get more recognition and all those type of things. So yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. And how did you even go through the process of landing the job that you have at your firm right now? Because if somebody went to a HBCU, you know, people give negative connotations and say it's hard making it out of a HBCU, and you did, and you went straight to corporate America. So what was that whole process like for yourself?
The process was very long. So I joined this organization called NABA, National Association of Black Accountants.
Okay.
So they hold a conference twice a year. They do the general conference, and then they do the worldwide conference and stuff like that. So when I first went there, I went there by myself, and my uncle was like, "Hey, I'm going to pay for your ticket, and the rest is on you. Like, I'm not telling you who to talk to, what to do, or anything, but I'm going to pay for your ticket for you to be there." And I didn't know anything. This is when I just transitioned to an accounting major. I didn't know the difference between public accounting to private accounting. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I'm at this conference and it's nothing but people that have the same major as me with 4.5s, 4.2s, everything. Everybody already have their interviews all lined up. And I'm like, what am I doing here?
Right.
So I would never forget. I called my mom. I was like, I need to go home. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't even have an interview set up. My mom was like, just push through. Just push through. And I walked up to the firm that I work at now. I didn't even know it was one of the big fours. I didn't know who they were or anything like that. I just saw it was people. They looked happy, and everyone was so young. So I introduced myself, and then I ended up getting an interview at the conference.
Wow.
And the first person that interviewed me, she's now my mentor now to this day. Like, me and her went to Vegas together. We're going to Cabo together next month. So just like, she became like, we built a real sisterhood. And we were just talking and all this, and I just broke down during my interview because I was like, I didn't know I was talking to a big four. I didn't know how to prepare myself like that. And she was like, she just calmed me down. She was like, you're doing great. Like, we look for people who have personality and a person that can really cope the fast learning, because it's fast learning. I never worked from 2 a.m. like staring at a computer before until I got to that firm.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's things like that. So once I got that, I did the minority internship. It was called the START internship. And you do a conference and you really just learn the firm. You learn all the different parts of the firm, and you go on different lunches and all that different stuff, and you network. And I networked my ass off. Like,
I'm talking about, yeah.
When I tell you I met every Black person that you can I met any Black person that you can name on there, and I was just networking. And that's how I was able to push it to Savannah State and all that type of stuff, because all the Black people there, they did the internship that I did. Majority of all the Black people there came from NABA, did the START internship, came from HBCU. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So everyone has that, basically the same story on how they even got there. And once I did that, I was able to do my first busy season. And then I got called back to do another busy season, and now I start full-time in September. So it's been a very long journey.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be an associate now.
Yeah.
So it's been a very long journey, but in those long journeys, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about this industry. Like, it's really an industry of, when I say networking is just crazy, and it will help you in the long run. And the accounting industry in Atlanta is this small.
Wow.
And everybody knows everyone, like, even from private to public, everyone knows everyone, because those people that work in private are those people clients in public. So everyone works together, everyone knows someone, and you don't never want to build a burden or anything like that. And to me, it wasn't just meeting Black people, it was meeting people that it was in the top tier, and really just getting to know people, like learning what they like. Like, I remember the partner that I worked under, she loved fashion. So I would come in there in a nice outfit every day, just so she could ask me, "Where'd you get that?" And that built conversation. That built me coming in her office, and we were talking, and that built me when I wasn't working for me to be able to come to her office and vent about this busy season. So that's how you build relationships. And even in college with the people that I did interview, Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas. Stay in those people's phones. Because when you stay in those people's phones, and they're going to remember your name.
That's
and
right.
they're going to remember your name. The lady that I interviewed with the first time, she made sure when I was there that she introduced me to her counterpart. She brought me to happy hours. She brought me to the certain things to meet other people. I know people from tax, audit to advisory at the firm I'm in. And I can like, if someone applies there and they can, if I know that person, hey, tell them that you know me or something like that. Like, you can build that type of relationship even as an intern. And I think that is what really set the par from different interns with in this networking. You can, everyone's there smart.
Yeah.
You got there because you smart. But so since you got there because you smart, what did you do to separate yourself in that internship?
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's how I looked at it. Like, everyone here is smart. What can I do as an individual, as a woman, as a Black person to separate myself? I've separated myself being Black. So they're looking at me anyway. So why
being a woman too?
Right. So while you're looking at me, I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna figure you out while you figure me out. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And what builds that confidence for you? Because being honest, and which you probably know even from like those networking events, a lot of people fold like when it's time to communicate, when it's time to talk. Hey, it happens. It happens. So what is that constant thing that drives you where you can be like, Gabby, I got this?
It's more like when you're in busy season, you really realize we're all just guessing. Like, we're all in there stressed together. So the best thing for you to do is be the person with the happy attitude. And once I feel like, because I was very nervous that first conference I went to, I was scared. I called my mom in the bathroom crying. Like, I was scared.
Wow.
I was scared. Like, everyone's going to be scared, but what people say, you have to make yourself uncomfortable to be comfortable in hard situations. So in order for you to do that, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You have to sit down with that partner that you hear bad reviews about. See for yourself. I always say, I'm not going to go based on what people say about a person. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to learn what I know about that person, and then I would judge that person based off their character. You can never judge based on what other people say, because you don't want nobody doing that to you, you know? So I like, the confidence came more when you start networking and you start meeting people, and when you talk to them and you build a relationship outside of corporate, or once you, and I always say going to happy hours and socials and stuff like that is so important, because people are more laid back and people are more chilled, and you can really be yourself. You know, maybe that one little drink will tweak everything. You can be yourself.
To relax.
Just to relax.
Yeah.
That's what happy hours and socials are for, you know? And that's why people take their clients to socials. Relax that client and get the information that you need from that client. And it's just all about that. And I feel like if you're confident in your work, you don't mind helping others. You don't mind networking, because I know they can't take my spot. I'm confident in what I do.
Yeah.
I know that. And once you learn that, you're able to bring other people into your blessings and all those different things. And that's why I say, like, if you really work hard and you become really confident in all your work and still be able to learn, not be a know-it-all, and still really be able to learn, blessings will come and that confidence will grow, especially as you be with these people every day. It's like high school. You be with these people every day. You're the new student, but you be with that person every single day. And you're going to learn, you know, everything. And I feel like that's why high school is so important. Everything's like high school. Job,
all over again.
College. It's literally all over again. So I think that's how you can really build your confidence.
You preach it. Spreading blessings, confidence. I love it. I love this. And two as well, let's transition to something else. I would probably say, can you break down your typical day as an accountant? Because when I see people who's an accountant, I hear about busy season, I hear about
Yeah.
staying up late. So what's that day from start to finish?
So I usually would get to Midtown. Like it depends on your team on when you go into the office or if you're working from home. But usually I'll get to work like around 9. You know, you won't probably have a meeting or a follow-up meeting with your client until like 10. Sometimes we do lunch meetings and you just order lunch or something like that. Work really don't really kick off until like 3 o'clock after meetings, because you do meetings all morning and stuff like
All the
that.
way up to 3?
So yeah, so you have your meetings, you have
I'll
your
be
morning
tapped out by
meetings.
then.
Right. That's why so that's how they would do it. So okay, I would say maybe 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. That's when work really start wrapping, because you're waiting for information from your client.
Got you.
So
Okay.
that's what it is. Busy season is not long because of the people that you work with. Busy season is long because of the clients. So you would ask your client, hey, I need your financials. They don't respond to Wednesday, but they still want their stuff by Thursday morning. So you're in that office to 2 a.m. stressing, pulling your hair out. Or what they would do, they'll send their financials on time, and then they would be like, oh yeah, by the way, we sent you last year's on accident. Can we send you a new one? And it's like a $2 million difference or a $4 million.
I didn't know y'all be going through it like that.
So
Man,
you
that's
go through
crazy.
stuff because of the clients. It's not the accounting work. And then your manager's beating on you like, why is this not done? Well, they don't really know what's going on, because if they're the associate or senior associate that would talk to the client sometimes based on on basic information is between these two. So your manager's like, what's taking so long? Well, they sent us a new financial. We have to redo it, and it's all different type of steps. But that was my main struggle on why we were staying so late, because our clients didn't send their information that they needed.
Man, I know that makes people mad.
Yeah, so that's what makes it not struggling, but that's what makes it hard, because you're fighting time. You're fighting time, and it still has to be perfect. And so, yeah.
Wow. So how do you and your coworkers, how do y'all balance that pressure from a manager being on you, and you just had to deal with a client giving you the wrong information or just info that's late? So how do you stay confident when you have a manager that's like, yo, what's going on?
Just communication.
Okay.
Everyone's been in that spot. Everyone knows what's going on. So if you really just communicate, like everything, if I'm talking to a client, I'll always CC my manager or the people that's above me, so they know what's going on and no one's blind-eyed to what's really going on, because everyone's stressed. Everyone's on multiple clients and all those type of things. And I saw a person say deadlines. Yeah, deadlines are important, but it's reaching that deadline when you have people still bringing in information in there, and that's what makes it crazy hard. But I wouldn't even say crazy. I would just say stressful. But with communication and team, just being a team, that's where it's like, okay, well, I haven't done this yet because we just got new financials in, but I'll have it done by the end of the day. So that's why someone said deadlines, like all through the day. It's everything. I need this done by 3. Okay, do this by 3. And I'll always say, when it comes to time management, like I had a work planner and I had a school personal planner. So my work planner, because you still have to schedule your meetings, you still have to be in these meetings, you still have to have what you need to present in these meetings. If you are presenting, you need to take notes and all those type of things. So it's just like being in school again. Honestly, it's just like being in school again, but it's more intense and you can't mess up.
Right.
So, and you're messing with people money, you can't mess that up. So
literally messing with people's money.
Right. Yeah. So it's just, and that, I think that's what makes it stressful, So.
Yeah, I feel that. And one of the last things that we can talk on within the last 10 minutes, I also saw on your page, and I loved it too, where you talk about certain companies, Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes.
How can we become more knowledgeable about where these companies are allocating resources to? Because seeing your post, I didn't even know some of that stuff. So like, how can we leverage our spending power as Black people, which is like what 1.9 trillion or
Yeah.
something like that. Like we
Yeah.
spend the most in America. So how can we leverage our money to not necessarily spend with companies all the time who don't care about us?
Just finding alternates. Like I found an alternate for almost everything I spend money on.
Okay.
When it comes to doctors, hairstylists now, where I get my nails done, where I go grocery shopping, you really just, but
Yeah,
it's
that's kind
more
of stuck.
like the
Yeah.
different websites that can replace other different things, like buying from friends that starting a business, all those type of things. Everyone's like entrepreneurship is the big go-to right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and then living in Atlanta, like it's not hard to find something that's black owned. Like instead of going to Smoothie King, I found a black owned place that's owned by this Jamaican guy on Peter Street that I go to all the
What's
time.
the name of it?
It's called Juice It Juice. Let me quickly right quick.
You put me on game because I'm a smoothie fiend. So now that you just
It's
said
literally
that, I gotta check it out.
right next to Escobar. You cannot miss
Okay.
it.
Hey, that's all I need to know. Got it.
I think it's called Juice It.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, I'll DM it to you. But
Thank you.
love it. And it's this one other place that's by my house too. But I live in Cobb. And you can just like I feel like Atlanta, it's the prime. Like it's Black Hollywood. It's easy for a black person to have their entrepreneurship and all those type of things. So if you really just sit down and figure out and mission statements, honestly, finding who really, because a lot of black products that we be buying, they're not owned by black people. I just found that out during this pandemic. Like some of the hair products I have are not owned by black people, and you wonder, and then you're like, okay, well that's why this didn't work, or this didn't substitute my hair course or something like that. Like it's just different. You really have to really sit down, and I literally sat down and I was like, okay, I have an alternate for this, and I have an alternate for that now, and it's supporting your friends. Our friends are building businesses that we spend $1,000 on yearly, like buying from our friends' clothing line, buying from our friends' boutiques, hair products, all those different type of things. And I feel like once we all support each other, we can build up together, if we all just support each other, and just even if it's like the smallest thing, like an accessory or anything, just always support your friends. And if you buy it, post it on your thing. It takes 5 seconds to post. You post Fashion Nova giveaways all the time, or J Lux. Well, she's black. But it's stuff like that. But just like Fashion Nova, you would think that's owned by a black person, but as many as black influencers that they have, no, it's owned by an Asian man. You wouldn't even know that. Like, you would think that it's owned by a woman or something like that. But no, it's owned by a man. Just like Victoria's Secret is owned by a man. And nobody would know that. So that's named Victor. That's what Victoria's Secret is.
I never knew that. That's crazy. That's crazy. You finessed everybody.
It's just different. Yeah. It's just different things like that. Like, if you really just sit down and do your research on what you're putting your money into, because people just spend. No, just really sit down and watch what you're putting your money into. Yeah. It's your money. Yeah. Like, you need to know what you're, like, just like you getting a receipt. I need a receipt on who's behind this company. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of my last two questions.
Okay.
I had a friend who texted me this morning, and he was saying that the 2020s is like our roaring 20s. And I kind of thought about it because I'm like, back in the 1920s, we had like Wall Street in Atlanta, Auburn Avenue, Rosewood, like all these amazing places that were black owned and thriving. And it's crazy because right now, like what you said, entrepreneurship is thriving. So do you feel like for our age group that we're kind of the ones that can change our whole paradigm when it comes to black ownership, wealth, all of that?
Yeah, I feel like our generation is more built on happiness and being financially happy, but it's more of I don't have to work and be unhappy. I can make money myself. I also feel like our generation just have so much different technology. We're exposed to so many different things that our parents were not exposed to. Our parents wasn't exposed to live streaming. Nope. Our parents wasn't exposed to YouTube that can make you rich like that. You know what I mean? Endorsement deals. I know the only person that got endorsement deals when our parents were our age were Michael Jordan.
Athletes.
And stuff like that. Yeah, athletes. Yeah. And it was hard to get close to those athletes. Now, it's not hard to get close to famous people no more because they want to be on the scene. They want to be they want to be on the scene just like we be on the scene, and we learn how to buy the same things that they're buying. And also, so when you were shopping at the same places, partying at the same places, and on social media made the world so small. You can literally be a person and y'all can end up being best friends and never meet each other.
That's facts.
And just like YouTube made it a way where Sephora doesn't have to pay Rihanna $10 million. They can get 10 influencers and pay $1 million each.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
Right. So that's 10 different people in 10 different ethnicities in 10 different countries and all those different type of things. I'm paying this girl $1 million each. They're spreading their marketing so well now. Instead of paying Rihanna, paying Beyonce and all those, they're paying us regular people. And that's bringing more money in, but we're not bringing money into our communities. And that's the hard part. We're not doing that. We're not putting money into our communities. We're putting money back into these multi-million-dollar companies.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we shouldn't do. If I'm 22 and I'm making millions of dollars, you need to have all these different type of trust funds. You need to learn how to do your taxes because that's a big one. Because it's just like, even when like everyone wants to be self-employed, everyone wants to do this, but how are you filing your taxes, ma'am? How are you filing your taxes, sir? You can easily commit fraud on accident, as a self-employed person. So it just comes with your people with different knowledge of money. Like you can have $1,000 and blow it. So if you have $1,000 and blow it, why do you need 10,000? Why do you need $1 million? Why do you need so much money if you're not doing the right things with your money? And I think that's what it comes with our generation. We can be that generation that change things if we're more financial literate. And that's why I started Accounting Babe, because I learned that everyone wasn't blessed with the type of financial literacy that my family gave me.
Right.
They just jump into things. Some people don't know about the different tax law breakdowns that I've been doing. Some people don't like, and that's why I started off with the stimulus check. You didn't know what the description was going to be when you got your stimulus check. Nope. You didn't know when you were getting it. You didn't know how much you were getting it. You didn't know who was getting qualified. Because people are not going to do the research to do it. So I was like, okay, I'll be the person that does the research and spread it to the Black community. Our counterparts know. And that's where it comes to, like, if you want to know something, you have to read about it. You have to do your research. Yeah. So we can have the money, we can have the research, we can have the technology, but if we're not going to be knowledgeable about it, it's not going to grow. So we can be the generation to change things, but we have to be the generation to change things. Like, you have to put in work to get in the outcome that you want.
Man. So, yeah. Man, this hour, I got so much information. It felt like a sermon. I loved it. I know everybody who tapped in, they enjoyed it. This will also be posted on YouTube probably within like a week or so. Thank you so much for your time. Before we leave, where can everybody follow you, support you, all of that good stuff?
So it's the Accountant Bae __. Gotcha. So should I put it in the comments or something?
Yeah, sure. Let me put it down right now.
Okay.
Gotcha. I might have. Oh, never mind. Accountant, my fault.
Yeah, the Accountant Bae __, 2 underscores.
So the underscore.
The Accountant, 2 underscores out there. Yeah.
All right, and then 2, I'll make sure to post it on my story as well.
No. I'm gonna write it.
Yeah. Hey, just take care of it for me. I'm messing it up. Don't even mind me. Oh, I didn't even see that second one. I was in the middle of typing it. It just posted it. I didn't even mean to do that.
No, you're fine. I did it.
Perfect. There we go. That's it. And then I'm about to put it right now.
So, yeah.
There we go.
Thank you for this. I really enjoyed it. This was my first time, like, doing something like this, but it's been fun.
Killed it. You killed it. Anytime that, you want to come back on, chop it up, always welcome. Always. Okay. And keep doing what you're doing because it's needed. Seriously.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. All right. You have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Thank y'all so much again for tapping in. We love y'all. We appreciate all the support. If you can, make sure to follow Gabby Also follow the second page, the account at Bay. Follow us as well, 3 Milli Pod, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can stay up to date with all of our latest content and interviews as well. We appreciate y'all so very much. Much love. Peace.